Welcome back to LegitStreetCars. My name is Alex, and if you were around for the last video, then you know that I had a little bit of fun with my C63.
This is awesome!
You also probably know that the car broke twice.
All right, let's do a second gear roll. Oh, that was weird. All the power cut off. We have inoperative traction control or something. Hang on a second. Let's see. Nope, it came right back on. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. Now we got a red battery light. Jesus, this whole thing is breaking down on me.
My C63 broke twice in that video. I lost throttle response after some spirited driving, and a red battery light came on, but I didn't waste any time fixing her up. First things first, we tackled the lack of acceleration. The car had a check engine light and a current code for a faulty pedal value sensor, and I've seen a lot of these go bad, so a new pedal was in order. Luckily, the C63 is perfectly clean, so it was an absolute pleasure replacing the pedal. It's just two 13mm nuts, one connector, and the old one comes right out. Now, if your car had dirty floor mats or carpet, this is how you'd clean it up. Mine are totally mint, so I'm just gonna pretend to vacuum it just to show you guys how it works. Now just plug the pedal back in, tighten the two nuts, and congratulations, you've just saved yourself about $10 million by doing this yourself at home. Oh, and since these pedals do go bad from time to time, I got myself one with a lifetime warranty from Walmart. I mean FCPEuro.com, of course. With that done, we moved on to the rear of the car to repair a cut wire to the battery sensor, and hopefully that will fix the red battery light issue. This is the broken connector, and here is me breaking the two final strands of wire off to try and remove the pin. And here is what the connector looked like after failing at removing the pin after about 30 minutes and getting angry. I'm gonna have to order and splice in a new connector, but in the meantime, I just took a pin from an old harness that I had laying around, attached that to the wire, attached the other part of the connector, and taped it all up. Now, the reason the wire broke was from the battery not being held down properly due to a mangled hold down, so that's on order too. For the meantime, this dirty microfiber jammed against the spare tire should do a great job, and now that the sensor can tell the car's computer the battery's state of charge, I'm hoping the red battery light won't come back. So with our new pedal installed and our temporary wiring repair, it was time to perform an official Mercedes-Benz accelerator pedal travel test, otherwise known as just flooring it a bunch of times. After a few official pedal travel tests, I was able to verify that we weren't getting a red battery light and the throttle wasn't cutting out on us any longer. It seemed like the C63 was in good shape for now. Now, while beating the crap out of my C63, I realized that even though the car had less power than my E55, it was still putting a big smile on my face. And that smile had a lot to do with the way it shifts. So this naturally begged the question, but I wonder if I could make my E55 shift as fast as the C63. The truth is, I have no idea the 722.6 5-speed, it's inherently a slow shifting transmission, and even with a TCU tune like my E55 has, it leaves a lot to be desired. Check out the E55 at the drag strip from last year.
Peace out, vet.
So it gets the job done, but it's definitely not a fun transmission, and I think we could really improve the quarter mile time of the E55 if it would, just shift into the next gear quicker. That's all I'm asking. So I decided to think outside of the box. I exited the Mercedes-Benz world kind of altogether, because you guys may not know this, but at the same time this trans was used by Mercedes, they also were being used in some Chrysler products, specifically the SRT8 performance cars, like the Charger, like the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8, and cars like these get modified quite often. So I did a search to see if there was anyone out there in the Mopar world that figured something out, and I found a company called Southern Hot Rod. They're right outside of New Orleans, and they build high-performance transmissions for the Mopars, which are essentially the same transmissions that are in the Mercedes-Benz, and they also build a very easy-to-swap bolt-in
valve body. So let me show you guys this and I'll tell you a little bit about it. All right guys, here she is, the new valve body for the E55. Now this may look like a normal 722.6 valve body from the outside, but the guys at Southern Hot Rod have completely disassembled this valve body and reworked all of the hydraulic circuits internally with performance in mind. So a lot of the internal components have been replaced as well. And if you guys aren't aware, from the factory, pretty much all the manufacturers, they build in a little bit of slippage going into each gear, and this is for comfort, so you have a very smooth transmission that's going to appeal to the masses. Well, what they've done in here is modified these circuits for a lot more of a firm, a lot quicker shift. This is also going to produce cooler transmission fluid temperatures because you're not getting any of that slip, and it should just overall make this transmission feel a lot more sporty, a lot more like it should have felt from the factory, especially on a car with such a powerful engine. So this modified and rebuilt valve body costs $650, and if you guys have ever priced out a totally stock valve body from Mercedes, this is actually a really good deal. So you're going to gain some performance out of this, and you're going to have a brand new valve body at the same time. Now you do have to send in your old one as a core, and if you guys are installing one of these on a non-AMG car, you're going to want to get the blue top AMG solenoids. So we already have those on the E55, but this valve body was designed to work best with those blue top solenoids. You don't have to do it, but you're going to get the most out of this thing with those. So all we're going to be doing is swapping over the conductor plate and all of the solenoids and then simply bolting it back in the car. Should take an hour. It's a really easy swap, and I'll leave some links to some other videos that I've done in the past where I highlight the installation of these valve bodies on these Mercedes cars. Oh, and if you guys are curious about the M113K t-shirt that I'm wearing, check out the back. This is hand drawn. I think it took like 100 hours. Obviously, it's the M113K, so if you guys want to pick up your very own t-shirt, you're probably going to be seeing me in these videos wearing this thing. And by the way, I have nothing to do with the production of this. An enthusiast on one of the Mercedes-Benz AMG Facebook groups started making these, and he was nice enough to send me one out. But if you guys are interested, I'll leave all of his contact information down below. I don't know how many of these he has, but I think if there's interest, he'll order more of them. But anyway, let's get to installing our new valve body and seeing if the E55 can shift anywhere remotely close to the C63.
All right, guys, with the fluid level set, we just have one last thing to do before our first test drive, and that is to reset the transmission control unit adaptation. So you don't have to have the factory star or Xentry program to do this, although this is probably the best route to go. I've heard you can disconnect the battery and that actually resets it, and then I'll leave instructions to what they call a sneaky reset down below. But if you have access to this, it's a good idea. You just go down to adaptations, display and reset of adaptations, and then we're just going to reset all of the adaptations. Yes, All right, they've been reset. We're ready to rock and roll.
All right, guys, here we go. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you guys right now is that I will also review the normal drivability of this valve body. So far, just going into drive and in reverse and everything feels totally stock, totally normal. So here's our first normal shift. Feels totally fine, totally stock. 2 to 3, I did feel it a little bit more. It was very firm. Ooh, and that is very firm too. Ooh, so far so good, but still comfortable, but it just positively engages. All right, guys, so the downshifts are actually pretty harsh. Let's try and put a little bit more throttle. Okay, so 1 to 2 feels totally normal. 2 to 3, it's, yeah, let's see. This is like 8th throttle. Okay, very nice, very crisp so far. But I will say this, the downshifts, yeah, you can kind of like see me move a little bit. They are pretty harsh going down. It kind of feels like maybe a little rev match would be nice. So maybe that's something that can be messed with the ECU or the TCU tune. But I think a rev match on the downshift would make them feel a lot nicer. So far, so good, guys. We're gonna head out to the Forest Preserve and see what this thing really feels like. So we're going like 45. I just wanna, whoa. Guys, the way it downshifts is night and day. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. That is quick. It just, bam, downshifts right into the proper gear, and this thing takes off. That is awesome. I'm gonna get a little bit more kind of a stretch of a road here so we can get it to actually upshift as well. But again, I'm gonna mention that the downshifts are a little harsh. You can actually, you know, it kind of does move the car a little bit. So I don't know if that's gonna change a little bit as this adapts, but I'll keep you posted. But let's turn around, see if we can get a good stretch. Here we go. Oh my gosh, guys, that shift was perfect. Seriously, that was the best shift I've ever felt in a 722.6 in my life. Hang on, let's do another roller here so we can just get to that shift immediately. So we're going 32. Perfect. Wow. That is awesome, guys. That is, I don't know what to say. And something I want to mention is I don't get anything if you guys buy this valve body. This seriously means nothing to me. If the valve body totally sucked, I would have just told you and sent it right back. But the only thing I'll say right now is that the downshifts are not nearly as comfortable as factory. But guys, I'm talking about the normal driving downshifts. The downshifts, when you want it to downshift fast, are insanely quick, and the upshifts are crazy too. Let me see if I can get this on camera for you guys so you can kind of like directly compare it to the track video. All right, here we go. All right, I don't have a lot of room, but just check this out. So all I gotta say is that if you just wanna go fast in your E55 or your 722.6 equipped vehicle, this valve body I think will definitely help. We're gonna be testing this out at the quarter-mile drag strip as well. But I gotta be 100% honest with you guys, the downshifts during normal driving, they are kind of harsh. Like, if you aren't looking to kind of shave off as much time as possible from your drag strip time, you might not want to go with a valve body like this. But I don't know. I mean, as I've been driving it, it's been getting a lot better, but it is very firm. 2 to 3, 3 to 4, even the upshift just under normal driving conditions. I mean, it feels like you have a shift kick, guys. So it gives you a little jerk back in the seat. But at wide open throttle, the downshift at wide open throttle, the upshift at wide open throttle, it is spot on, by far the fastest shifting 722.6 transmission that I've ever felt. It's crisp, it's clean, it's perfect. So again, I will leave all the links down below if you guys want to check it out, buy one, whatever. But just fully understand what you're getting yourself into. This is a valve body that has performance in mind, so there's gonna be a sacrifice with comfort. All right, guys, we're back back at home base and I drove another 10 miles in the E55 just to get a really good feel for this transmission, and also to let you guys know if I thought that it shifted any faster than this car. And my short answer is no. I still think that the 722.9 in the C63 shifts faster than the E55, but it's pretty close now, and that is saying a lot considering how slow these things shift from the factory. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you have a car with this transmission in it, comment down below if you agree what I'm saying. This has got to be one of the slowest shifting transmissions that's put in a performance car, I don't know, ever in the last 20 years, something like that. I mean, it is so bad, and now it's actually fun to drive. The upshifts at wide open throttle are crazy fast compared to what they were before. It just feels a lot more firm. It's a lot more fun to drive, but I do want to reiterate this, pound it into your head, that this modification for daily driving is going to be a lot less comfortable than it was before, especially on those light throttle downshifts. Now, like I was saying, I'm going to talk to a tuner and see if we can figure out some kind of rev match where it gives it a little bit of throttle on the downshift when you let off of the throttle completely. That's what this car does. That's what a lot of newer cars do, and it's good for the transmission, and it feels a little bit more comfortable. You're not kind of like jerking back and forth upon that low throttle downshift. So just want to let you guys know you will feel that, and also the upshifts at part throttle are a little bit snappier. You're going to feel that as well, but a lot of guys like that. So just wanted to give you a complete review on this, and it's not over yet. We're going to take the E55 to the drag strip, so we're going to see how it performs there as well, and then I'll let you guys know, of course, if I can find a tuner to add kind of a little blip in the throttle on the downshift that actually might sound really cool as well. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, hit the thumbs up button, share the video, subscribe if you're new, and most importantly, check out the link down below for the t-shirts. These things are awesome. They were hand-drawn, took forever. And also check out the link for the valve body. Have a good one, guys. I'll catch you all in the next video.